Good evening, you lot. How's it going? Let's have a little bit of fun. Remember, this is all just for fun. The other day, I rebuilt this with absolutely no new parts. All I did was pinch the old liner, give it a bit of a clean on the inside and the out. I cleaned the bearings with a bit of brake cleaner, and then I filled it up with oil to oil up the bearings again and done all that, and then simply put it back together. It appeared at that time to have a bit more compression than it did before I took it apart. Remember that it has got oil in it now, so it'll have a little bit more compression because there's a lot of oil on the piston and on the cylinder. Whether I've pinched it enough for it to actually want to run, that's a different story, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. But let's have a little bit of fun now, alright? And I want you to see if you can help. It's just for fun. There's no need to get annoyed with any of this or anything like that. I have to say things like that because whenever I say I'm going to try and rebuild one of these old engines, 20 years old, whenever I say I want to get parts, I want to rebuild it, I get loads of people saying, you'll never get parts for that, it's too old, it's pointless, just buy a new engine, don't worry about the old one, just buy a new one, it's pointless trying to rebuild that, blah blah blah. It's all in the name of fun for me, alright? I enjoy rebuilding old things, getting the parts, tracking them down, doing all that. Now I've spent a good amount of time today in my lunch break phoning around all of the RC shops that I could find in this country, and I mean that quite literally. I phoned up Active Scale, good old Active Scale, because I managed to find the parts on the RipMax website. They're listed there, but obviously not any old Tom, Dick and Harry can buy from the RipMax website. You've got to be a dealer. So my first port of call, of course, was to phone up Active Scale Models. He had a look on his little system there and he said, no, I can't get them parts. RipMax, just blah blah blah, all this stuff. So, and he made a good point. He said, you might have a bit of luck if you was to try and find a little model shop somewhere that might have bought a few of these back in the day, or when they were available, put them on the shelf, or perhaps they're in a box in the back of a storeroom or something somewhere. You might be able to get one from something like that, a bit of old stock that's been forgotten about, or perhaps it's been on the shelf for God knows how long, you know. That's a good point. So then I literally googled RC Model Shop UK, and you get a big list of them come up on Google. I went one by one, phoned on the telephone, phoned each individual one up to try and get this, and pretty much all of them, as soon as I said, I'm wondering if you could help me, and I'm looking for a piston and liner for an old Nitro engine, an XTM. No, we can't get that. Can't get that. No, we can't get that. Dismissed it straight away. Some of them were like, oh, let me have a look, you know, and you hear a bit of typing on a keyboard. Oh, no, can't get that. Which I expect anyway. But a lot of them just dismissed it straight away, saying, there's no point, it's pointless doing it. And I tried to explain, no, I'm just doing it for a bit of fun. No, you might as well just buy a new engine. No, but I want to do it for a bit of fun. You know, like you would restore a classic car for fun, wouldn't you? It's the same thing. I just want to restore this engine for fun, you know, bringing the old one back to life sort of thing, rather than replace it with new. No. Pointless, can't do it. I wouldn't bother looking. And that's what most of them said. This is where I want you, if you've got a spare 10 minutes, maybe if you're going in your local model shop, or if you've got a spare 10 minutes and you've got a local model shop, because just because I've found them all on Google don't mean I found every single one in the country. They're just ones that come up on Google. I didn't look very far. Just the first ones in the list. Yeah, I'll give you the part numbers. Yeah? Have a chat with your ones, your local model shop. They might have one. If you can find one, don't expect you to buy it by any means. Just ask them if they've got one. Ask them to hold it for me. Then tell me, which shop it is, and I'll phone them up and I'll get it. Let's have a look here. So what we got, the part number. This is a bit of fun. It's rallying the troops, you know what I mean? See if we can get an original piston and liner and bearings if possible. I don't need the conrod, don't need the crank, but I need a piston and liner at the very least. Bearings if possible. I could probably get the bearings from the RC Bearings nitro.com. I could probably get the bearings from there. I haven't even looked, because the piston and line is more important than the bearings as far as I'm concerned, because there's no point in getting bearings if I can't get any compression to run the engine. So, do you know what I mean? Most important first. Let's rally the troops, see if we can get a result with a massive, we can all work together. So the part numbers for the piston and liner, look, here is TE2831. TE28, where's 283? 2831, piston and sleeve set, 147505. Alright, now if you look it up on the RipMax website, it has that 1457, but it has X-XTM in front of it. So it's the same numbers, but the RipMax has those numbers in front. So you might be looking at either with the letters or without the letters. Let's just have a look. Bit of fun. Don't expect you to go out your way. Just a bit of fun. Let's just see what we can do. Anyway, I pinched that liner, put it all back together. Let's give this car a bit of a spruce up. I'm not going to go overboard with it. I do want to clean it up good and proper at some point, but just for the sake of, I've only got sort of a spare sort of 15-20 minutes this evening, so I thought let's just put this in there and just see if we can get it to run, because I know you're all going to be anticipating it, and I can't wait to see whether it's going to run any better with a pinch sleeve either. So I'm going to put a bit of engine degreaser, because all I've got left, spray a bit of that around there, give it a scrub with a toothbrush, blow it off with a bit of air, and we'll go from there. I usually use a general purpose degreaser, but I've run out of it. I used it all, so I've got this engine degreaser. It's probably a little bit more potent, to be fair, than the general degreaser that I use. But the general no-nonsense degreaser that I normally use is bloody good. It literally gets any grease and oil off of everything. It just runs off. This stuff's good as well. I use this on actual real engines to spray it on wherever I want to do a bit of work, and it literally runs off as well. So we'll spray a bit of this on around those engine mounts and everywhere, all on the diffs. Let it do its thing. It's probably going to melt all the rubbers and pipe works and everything else, but can't have everything, can you? Smells lovely and all. There we go. Definitely get it all over the brake pads. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Give it a scrub with a toothbrush. Now this one's not mine. This is my son's toothbrush this time. Used the wife's one the time before last. Got sick of using my one. Makes your teeth feel all funny. Maybe you brush your teeth and it'll start to squeak and go all weird. It's not perfect, and it's nowhere near probably some of the standards that some of you lot would go to, but it will be cleaner when this is actually running. Now I must stress and point out, as I say, this is all just for fun. This engine, if I can't get this one to run reasonably well as it is, and I can't get any parts for it, it's very simple. All I'm going to do is I'll just get, because I'm going to want to sell it as a running truck, ideally, because I did buy it to sell. The whole point of this is to buy to sell. So I'll probably just get a new engine, a new one, and stick it in there and you know, sell it priced accordingly. But it's all fun and games. Now this has got the stupid engine mount design that a lot of Herbeos and all that have. I like, recently, I don't know why, I never used to. I used to always go for the bolts underneath and take the whole lot out. But of late, for some reason, I quite like taking these bolts out that go onto on the side of the engine to hold it to the mount. It's just, I don't know. I don't even know why. I've taken a liking to doing it that way, but that means that this becomes somewhat troublesome because of the way this is. So I might have to take these mounts out regardless, which is a bit of a pain really, but it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? I wonder if all the night, what was that? Probably going to have a raining nitro in a minute. God. I've got a little vent now. I didn't notice that before. Let's give this a bit of a clean. You can't see a single dicky bird of what I'm doing. I'm sorry about that. That's, please accept my apologies. I want this truck to be bloody mint by the time I finish with it. I mean, at least mint to my standards. I know I can't really say I want it to be mint and perfect, because some of you lot are absolutely crazy. I've seen photographs of some of you lot. Not you lot, actually, but your cars in on the forums and all that. And some of them are like brand new. I don't know why you go to that sort of standard, but that's what the hobby's all about, isn't it? It's what any hobby's all about, really. Oh, bloody blimey. It's what any hobby's all about. You're doing whatever makes you happy. And, oh, bloody Allen keys are stuck. To some people, cleaning them to within an inch of their life, even though you're going to take it out tomorrow and get it absolutely filthy again, is what you enjoy, and I respect that. There we go. There we go. I don't know if these engine mount bolts have ever been out before, you know. There we go. Now I can use the good old Allen driver. Yeah, I want you to place your bets in the comments. But the thing is, though, you have to have seen. Well, you ain't got to have seen, I suppose. Tell me if you've seen the video, which would have come out before this one, where I repinched that sleeve, that liner. Tell me if you see that, and even if you didn't, for your knowledge, all I've done was got a Jubilee clip, put it round it nice and tight, used a heat gun, heated it up, kept doing it up and left it till it got cold, and then put it back together. I didn't try particularly hard. Probably could have gone a bit more. At one point I thought I'd done a bit too much, because the pistol wouldn't even go in the blooming liner really, but it turned out that it worked out okay. Do you think, put in the comments, how well do you think it's going to run? Place your bets now. I reckon it is going to run, and I reckon it will run reasonable, but I don't think it's going to be particularly powerful, and I don't think it's going to have a particular, you know, I think it's going to be a struggler, I reckon. But we'll find out. We'll have a look and see. Johnny boy, who I still don't even know who this Johnny boy is. He just kind of joined in one day, you know, and I said to him, I said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I don't know." You know, and so I said, "Well, what do you mean you don't know who you are?" And he said, "Well, I don't know who I am. Do you know who you are?" Hello?
I want to book a Kinsey play flat with me.
Okay.
I'm not on!
What?
They're not on Fortnite.
Oh, if they're not on Fortnite, then you can't play with them, can you?
You called them.
I can't call them. Mummy's got their number. I ain't got their number. Mum. Right, let me get these in because this is boring. It's boring me, let alone boring you. Blimey, I don't know why they picked this design. Loads of them do it, didn't they, back then? Don't know what's wrong with a normal engine mount. Some of you lot love this. I was saying how stupid I reckon this design is in another video. What was it about? It might have been about that hyper cage truggy thing. And so many people actually commented saying, oh, I got that and I quite like it. I think it's a good design. And I'm thinking to myself, a good design? How is this a good design? You've got to do this every time, do you know what I mean? With a normal engine mount, you know, the holes are there. There's no bolts to line up and slide around. It's just holes. Put the bolts in, do them up, move on and have a happy life sort of thing. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. Back in a minute. Hello again. How's it going? Hope you're all fine and dandy. Right, let's leave it there. Leave it there. I did go back. It went back a little bit. That's it. So we want it. Try and line them up as best we can, because we might not be taking this out again. If this runs well enough, we might not be taking this back out again, you know? It might be permanent residence, you know, back in its little home where it's lived for the past 20 years. Judging by the heads on these bolts, the way the other ones were, I don't reckon this engine's been out, but, you know, 20 years might well have been, but sometimes people have these cars, just because it's 20 years old, don't mean that it's had a lot of use. It doesn't look like it's had a lot of use. It doesn't mean that it's been taken apart. It doesn't mean anything, really. The age of one of these doesn't mean a single thing. What would be... Oh, I forgot to put the exhaust on, you cock. What would be cool would be if they had hour meters on them. You could see how many hours they'd been run for. That would be pretty cool. It'd be strange, but it would be cool. Just for a bit of fun. Right. Probably made it a little bit awkward for myself, but never mind. It's what I do. That's why I'm on this earth, to make things awkward for me and easier for everybody else. That's all I ever do, really. Right, there you go. The gasket's definitely seen better days, but that's fine by me there, Johnny boy. Where's the spring gone? Oh, there it is. Let's get the... I want the cock-handed ones. There you go. Bent ones. They do an actual tool. It looks like one of these, but it's got a hook on the end. There is one somewhere in this shed, but where? It's anybody's guess. There's actually a whole kit of them. Different sizes, because two-stroke motocross bikes have the same style of exhaust as these. They're held on by a little spring that I can never bloody see the right hole for. And yeah, they're held on by a spring or two, usually just a one, sometimes two. Sorry, usually two, sometimes a one. And you use a little hook thing to get them on. The amount of times I've had them slip and go through my bloody finger down to the bone. Oh my giddy aunt. That's a serious thing there when that happens. Right. That's on there now. It's a lot easier with the tool because it goes in the end of it, but well, you can watch me struggle with this and shout at the screen and tell me easier and better ways to do it. I can't hear you. It won't change anything because I can't hear you. You know, and I always just use this way because I can't find me little spring tool thing. There we go. That's in there now. I don't think it's going to seal very well because of the state of the gasket, to be fair. But never mind. It's on. Let's connect the pipe because that may be quite important if it actually does run. It's very long. I don't know why it's so long. Right, there we go. That's all in. Let's put me nice. See, look, when I repinch the sleeve, I did it with a heat gun. Normally I use a blowtorch, but I did it with a heat gun this time and it burnt a blooming hole in it, look. Let's see what we've got. Let's connect the throttle, just for fun. There we go. Glow starter. And primage. Here we go. Oh yes, that primed all right. Are we going to get any runnage? Let's find out. Here we go. It did. It ran a little bit. Sounds rubbish though, doesn't it? I didn't mean it. You sound lovely. You sound perfect. I didn't mean you sound rubbish. You actually sound perfect. Sorry. Add a little bit more of nitro. Still got reasonable compression. Don't think it's getting enough fuel. I think we've got a blockage. Might be alright. The nitro in there is the original nitro that it came with, and he reckoned that it was very, very old, so it might not be a lot of cop. We could replace it for some new. It sounds extremely rubbish. I don't know. I reckon there's something wrong with that exhaust, but anyway, we'll have a look. Let's, just for fun, let's take this nitro out with this sucky bottle. There's nothing in there, look. Let's take out what we've got in there. To make sure we get it all out. I mean, that doesn't look too bad. I mean, I reckon he put new nitro in there, to be fair, because he gave me a new bottle of nitro with it. Let's stick that in the end of there, take that out. There we go. That's that. I think he's put new pipes and stuff on this. Anyway, there's the nitro that was in it. I'm going to save that because when this runs, I'll put it back in it, or I'll just put it in another car. Now, this came with it. We'll see whether he's put any new nitro in it or not. If this is opened, yeah, I reckon he's put a bit of new nitro in there. So that fuel that we took out probably wasn't 5 years old. I think it would have been somewhat more jellified if it was 5 years old. But this is 20%. I normally run 25, but this is what came with it. So we'll stick this in. It did sound a bit lean, didn't it? But the screws look like they're all the way out. So that could be interesting. Let's put this back there. It goes over there. Right, what's this low end needle? Well, that is quite far in, to be fair. To be fair, the low speed needle is quite far in, so we'll turn that out. It might have been run really lean, that might have been why it had low compression because it was run far too lean perhaps. But anyway, I've turned that out, what was that, probably about 1.5, 2 turns. It's now near enough flush with the body of the throttle. So let's see. Let's prime it up again. Let's see how well it's going to run now. Wants to go, doesn't it? It does want to go. Give it a little bit of throttle, shall we? Bit awkward position, really. Sounds a bit too rich now. Might need to turn that in a little bit. We're just playing around. You can shout at the screen as much as you want. We're just playing around, right? We're just playing around. Let's have a look at this high-end needle. That is properly out. I don't know whether you could, no, you probably couldn't. I've turned it in a little bit. But look how low, I mean high, that high-end needle is. We'll turn that in a bit more and see if that makes a difference. Some needles are meant to be like that, by the way. So they might look like they're quite far out, but they're not. We'll see. We might be able to get it to run reasonably well. Right, I haven't done any base setting rubbish. We're flush and we're flush. We'll see what happens. Seems to run alright. A bit loud though. Don't like being revved. The engine itself is extremely loud, but it does seem to run alright. This exhaust, I think, it's not a problem, but I think it's just silencing the exhaust a lot. I mean, I don't know what these sounded like when they were new. There'll be some geeks here that know what these sound like. But this doesn't, to my ears, I don't know what this microphone's picking it up like and what it's coming through your speakers like, but there's no exhaust sound here at all. The only sound is the engine itself, if that makes any sense. The mechanical sound of the engine. There is no exhaust sound, so I don't think it's blocked. I just blow down it, but anyway. Let's fire it up again. Well, that now runs absolutely brilliant. I mean, I can't complain about that at all now. That is absolutely perfect. I don't want to run it much longer here because it's a bit noisy and my neighbours and all that kind of stuff. Probably trying to relax on a nice Monday afternoon or Monday evening. But that runs absolutely fantastic now. I think the next step is to get the steering sorted out. There's meant to be, I've had a little bit of information. We did find a splitter. I'm not going to delve into it now, but we did find a splitter cable, didn't we? Which was connected to both servos. But But there was also another cable. So, or maybe I will have a quick look at it now. Anyway, let's put it on the bench. Let's have a quick look. I'm not going to play around with it too much. I'm running out of time. I'm going to go and spend some time with the family indoors. It's getting on. It's nearly 8 o'clock in the evening now. Going to go and spend some time with them. But we can have a quick little look at this. Just to see. Now, I thought that they were split. But what I saw the other day, I mean, you saw it as well. I mean, this isn't, we're all in this together. You saw what I saw on the other day. There was a wire that had 2 wires to it that had the plug on the end of it, which is obviously some kind of splitter. And that done only one servo though. And the other one done the other servo. But I didn't see another female plug for that to plug into anywhere. So let's see what we've got. We've got here electric. This is electric cable. That I think that's electric. What's that? That's electric. So this is the splitter here, right? This is the one plug. This is the splitter cable. That should be one servo. That one should be the other servo, right? See that there? And this is the one plug that goes into channel 1, right? But then we've got another servo here and another servo here. Okay, so these are both of the electric. This one is the electric to the receiver. This one is the electric for the battery. Alright, you've twisted my arm. I'm seriously going to get in trouble here, and I'm feeling massively guilty for not going indoors and spending some time with them. My little boy wants a sandwich and everything. But let's just quickly, where's the battery? Right, there's a battery. Right, so that's electric in. Right, that's electric in there. Right, you with me? You following? I'm doing this for you, right? Right, that's switch, so that's electric. Yeah, positive and negative. Right, you watching? You following? Right, good. Now this one here should be right. Splitter cable here, one plug, 2 servos attached to the splitter. Right, this is all what we saw. So this one can go in there, but then we've got 2 servos, right? We've only got a throttle servo left, but there's the other thing. Now I'm wondering, I might have to switch these plugs around, but we can play around with this. So this one here will go into channel 2, like that. Why won't it go in? Right, now where's the transmitter? On. Right, that's on. Why isn't that on? Don't tell me it's run out of battery. Come on, you're going to get me in trouble now. Come on. Come on. Unplug, you bastard. That's it. What we got, what we got, what we got. 99%. 86%, 93%, 86, 93, 94, 94, 50%. Alright, we've got percent anyway. Yeah. Why ain't it working then? There's electric, right? That is out of the switch. So that should be on. Alright. We'll bin off the switch. Something's obvious. That was working the other day. But we'll bin that off then. And we'll go straight battery power into this receiver. And that should... There we go. Now we're on. So that switch has gone dicky for some reason. Bloody blimey. That switch has gone dicky for some reason. So this is only one servo, right? It's only doing that one left-hand servo there. But that is the splitter wire plugged in with both of these plugged into it. So let's unplug one. Still only got that side. Let's plug into it this one. Haha! It kind of works. Only goes a little bit now. Oh, there we go. Right. So now that's working. Oh, we were zoomed in. Sorry about that. Oh, bloody hell. I hope you saw a lot of good stuff. We've sorted out that now. Now, what on earth... They're fighting each other, though. That's the trouble. Now, what on earth this other one does... What does that one do? I don't know. I just don't know. Have we got a hidden servo somewhere that we don't know about? So that one's the throttle. Let's plug that one in. That should be the throttle. Right. Oh, I don't know why it won't go in though. Is that the throttle? Or is that the throttle? No. Yeah, that one's got to be the throttle, isn't it? Right. That's it, it's in there. Doesn't work though. Throttle. Throttle and brakes. Full throttle, nearly. Brakes. Steering, both servos. So I don't know what this extra plug is for. I know all of you lot will know. Every single one of you lot will know exactly what that extra plug is for. Because that's always the way. Don't know why that won't go in there though. Oh, it's bizarre. I'll have to sort that out another day. Try and work out why that plug won't go in. But we've got steering, we've got throttle and brakes. Just got to sort that plug out. There we go. It's now ready for a test drive, I reckon. Engine is still hot, which is good. Means it got up to a nice temperature. Seemed to run alright. Don't know what it's going to be like actually driving, mind you. Servos and everything seemed to work. Happy days. Sorry about rushing around towards the end. I really shouldn't really be playing around too much with this evening. Like I say, should be spending time in there. Need to go and do that right now. Thanks for watching. If you want to win a £10 gift voucher, just subscribe, like, comment, and I'll go down the subscriptions list and pick. I'll get a bot or something to pick a winner for a £10 gift voucher at Answer RC. You ain't got to pay a single penny. If you want to enter to win up to £200, the competition ends on the 31st of July, which is in a few days' time of me filming this. So hopefully you'll see this in time, and you can go and hopefully win a voucher to a shop of your choice for £200. I'll catch you later on. All the best. Take care.